Hello, so we're into week 3 of this 4-week programme. And in weeks 1 and 2, we talked about ways to speed up creating content. So the written content using the Fab 5 idea, and the images using the idea of templates in Canva, adapting templates. This week is about speeding up the process by creating a posting plan, which is your ideal week. How many times you want to post and on what platform each week. I've got a little template for you to use if you want to. Probably can't see that very well. That's in the pack, but essentially all it is, you can do it on a piece of paper. There's the days of the week along the top, and then you write down what you want to be posting on, and then you block out the blocks in the grid to say when you want to be posting. And you can actually use Canva to adapt this template for your business and the frequencies and the platforms that you want to be posting on. So once you've done that, you end up with sort of that's your ideal posting plan. That's your grid of posts that you want to do in a week. So that's the first bit of the tasks for week 3. Create your ideal posting plan. The second part of the homeworks for week 3 are to create what I call like a power hour process. So I don't know if you're familiar with standard operating procedures or SOPs, but basically, if you're not, then these are things that bigger businesses use where they write down the stages in a process that need to happen and then train people to run through the same stages each time. So organizations like McDonald's, not that we want to be compared with McDonald's, but massive organizations use these detailed operating procedures to make sure that everything happens consistently in their business, wherever it's going on. This sort of routine of doing things is really useful for small business owners as well. You don't have to think about what you do. You just sit down with the list in front of you and work your way down the list of tasks you need to do. So it cuts down on the messing around time and focuses you on the task that you've got in hand. So it's a really useful technique to use. And the power hour process is a standard operating procedure approach for doing your social media for the week. You can create your own, obviously, but I've talked about the one that I recommend in the handout, and it's got some stages. So let me just run through the stages here. So my first stage is that you set a timer. So my aim for you is to reduce the amount of time you have to spend each week doing your social media, scheduling and posting. And if you sit down with this task as the only task you're trying to do, and you set a timer, it really helps you to concentrate on what you're trying to get through. It'll also help you to improve each week. You'll get faster, you'll find it easier. But if you set a timer and you track how long it takes you, that speeding up process, you'll really focus on it. So I recommend that you set a timer. It also stops you from multitasking quite as much, which I'm dreadful for. I'm always trying to do 6 things at once, dealing with the kids, sorting stuff out, taking phone calls, answering emails. And actually lots of research shows that slows you down a lot. You're much more productive if you can just focus on one task at a time. Chance would be a fine thing, I know, but set yourself up as best you can and think, right, in this time, I'm just going to do my posting plan. So then I also recommend that you, when you're mapping out your week's social media posts, you have a thought to the larger context. And in the notes, I put a link to a sort of quarterly or yearly plan where you've jotted down dates that are important. So things like Mother's Day or Christmas, or if you have a launch coming up, things like that. So you refer to a bigger plan and think, right, this week, I need to make sure I've done those things, included those things in this week. So if you're planning Christmas Day week, obviously you'd be putting Christmas Day in. So sort of like that. Use national days and things like that in your week's plan. so once you've referred to your sort of bigger, longer term review, I then recommend that you spend a few minutes reviewing your purpose for being on social media this week. It's quite important to keep thinking about what it is that social media is trying to achieve for your business. And if you write it down each week, there's a little template for that in there as well. You'll develop your approach. You'll start to be much more conscious about what social media can offer you and whether how you're using it is bringing what you want. So I recommend just 5 minutes each week. I want social media this week to help me increase signups for my email bulletin, or to increase footfall in my shop, or to bring me some appointments. Keep setting yourself that purpose for being on social. And then when you're planning your week, look at what you're talking about on your social media posts and think, are those things related to my purpose? So am I connecting all the dots here? So if I want people to sign up from my email news bulletin, where have I given them the opportunity in my posts? And what's the invitation? How am I making the invitation appealing? So think about your purpose, and then go back to your Fab Five and all the post ideas that you came up with in week one, or if you follow the week one process, you can generate those ideas and look at what you'd like to be posting. Pick the posts that you want to use this week to go on your planner. So you should have far more ideas on your Fab Five lists than you have slots you need to fill in your posting plan for the week. So I've also put some notes in there for you about different ways of deciding which posts you want to use this week. Have a look at those. Some of them suggest that you go with what's happening this week for your audience. For instance, I use the example of back to school. Make sure your posts are relevant to what your audience are experiencing. If you find that difficult, you can make it relevant to what you're experiencing that week that's relevant to your business. So just make it linked to the week that you're in and what's happening. And there's also another process that you can use instead, which is to post in ways that increase what I call the know, like, trust factor in your audience. If you're posting in order to get people to buy, your posts need to be increasing the confidence in your audience in you to the point where they trust you enough to buy. And the way you do that is you post around the know factor. So you make sure that they understand your business, you introduce your opening hours, where you are, what you sell, who you're good for. You then work on the like factors. So you do posts which help you build a personal connection with your audience and help them link with you and like you. You build the trust factor by showing up regularly, by showing reviews, by sharing your credentials, things that enable people to understand that you are a trustworthy person for them to be spending money with. And then with the buy one, you offer them opportunities to actually easily, if they want to buy from you, how easy have you made it for them to do it? Do you serve it up on a plate for them in your social media posts? So sign up my e-bulletin here. Sign up for an appointment with me by clicking this link. Are you offering them this opportunity and making it easy for them? So, of course, there are lots and lots of different ways to plan out which posts you're going to use in a week. And those are just 3 ideas to help you if you feel a bit stuck with it. So once you've filled up your slots with in your planner, then you need to go back to Canva and look at the images that you want to use to accompany your slots. Which images are you going to use this week? Take a template and adapt it, do the work on them, download them, have them ready to go, and then stop your timer and see how long that's taken you, and think about ways that you can speed it up each time you do it. Once you've done that, you've got your ideas for the post next week and you've got your images that you want to use. You're then ready to go and put them into a scheduler so that they will go out through the week, however busy you are in your business. And that is the topic for the final part of this series, which is in week 4. So in week 4, we're going to look at how you schedule in advance a week's worth of posts. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I'll do a Q&A on Thursday, and also you can post questions in the group, and I'll get back to you. Look forward to talking to you later in the week.